What's up, Zox fan? We're back with some more Etheria Restart. Now, I want to actually talk about the Fearless Arena because this is something that transpires every single weekend. And I actually was able to win my very first champion this go around. And actually, it's the first time I actually did it. So I guess there's kind of that, right? But nonetheless, this was something that I really wanted to talk about because I feel like more players would definitely love to play it. But there are some things that I think they could add to it or maybe adjust so it's just more accessible. But I also really want to get into the matches that I had. So we're going to start out with that. Now, getting into that, let's go over to the battle report here, battle record. And I'm not going to lie, dude, I had a great matchup with Lucia. So shout out to you because that was really, really fun. Especially, like I said, for my very first time actually going through this and getting all the way to the finals. That was cool. But I want to go through each of the matches, kind of show you guys like how I won, how I lost, right? So in this very first match here, I was drafting Lilium, Lily, Nymphonael, Freya, and Heinrich. Here they had Hoden, Yeli, Sania, and Kachi the guard. And let me tell you, they were doing a number on me. But from the perspective here on their side, I think is at the bottom and I'm on the top. I like honestly was getting did dirty by Hoden. Like Hoden's such a strong freaking unit, dude. So I was trying to hold out. My Heinrich, believe it or not, like I'm surprised I was able to actually win this set. Because my Heinrich actually wasn't even built right. Like I didn't have, like he only had speed or swift rush activated. He didn't have any other set value activated. So like that right there, like the damage from Heinrich is pretty respectable considering that. But yeah, they definitely kind of had it in the bag once they were able to like kind of deal with like my main DPS. I wasn't able to bring her back. So, you know, they have the reviver there. And then my Heinrich, of course, wasn't going to be able to really contest a Lily and a Hoden, right? Especially Hoden on Artisan. Like, Hoden on Artisan is just such a strong freaking counter to a lot of stuff just because it's the extra sustain. And if you don't have, like, a Stripper or a Dispeller, like, it's just rough, right? So they bring back their DPS, and I was trying to knock her out, which I think I was able to actually do here. Yep, so we got the Yeli down. But then again, it's like you're still in that same rabbit race here where you're trying to deal enough damage. I was trying to actually work down the Sania here, but they were not letting me have it. Yep. So Heinrich was out of here. And then from there, the team just kind of started to fall apart, right? Like Lily, Nymphonael they're not going to solo against those, right? So I forfeited that match, right? Then the very next match is where things started to kind of get interesting, at least for me, right? So if we actually go to this one, they drafted the Hoden again. They went Freya, Nymphonael, and Rosa. And then I had went Sania, Lily. I had Lilium, Heinrich, and Yeli, and they banned my Yeli, and I banned their Suki. I was kind of betting on the fact that, like, I would be able to kind of just, like, run rampant and take control of the fight. So, yeah, we were kind of able to do that. Like, I was going crazy, and despite some of chat's judgment, yeah, I was actually kind of making some power moves here. So they get, like, all these abilities off. I go for Lilium, and I think I attacked the Rosa, and I actually killed, which was crazy. I was like, dude, through all that shield, and then, yeah, just goodbye, right? So my Heinrich didn't successfully strip there, which was okay. But we got, we still in the running for America's Next Top Model. So we go for the Heal Purify there. And then, of course, here, with the Lily, the cooldowns actually start to kind of come into play with that skill 3. So that kind of helped me out a little bit. So it forced the skill 1 on the Freya. And then we're just kind of able to keep the team up. And then I went, I was Freya. Because Freya, I could tell she didn't really have much HP. So now we're just dealing with the Hoden and the Nymphonael, which really the only real threat here is the Hoden, right? So I was like, let me get rid of the Nymphonael, because if you hit Hoden, the problem you're going to run into is he's going to counter you a lot, and that could lead to you dying, right? So right here, I was just like basically kind of getting as many turns as I could to get Nin out of here, and Lilium hits really hard. But like, look at what he's doing to my freaking Sania. So yeah, right there, we were able to get some damage in. Lilium for the ult, and then that was GG basically. Yep. So yeah, Lilium ulted 3 times that entire fight and just cleaned that up. And then for the very last fight, the champion fight that I had, this one was actually really scary. I'm not gonna lie, because they ended up drafting both Sonya, they had Nymphonael, Yeli, Tiamat, and Lilith, right? I went again with Lilium, Lily. I had Holden this time with Heinrich and then Fuchi. And I was not sure how this was going to go, but we actually ended up still coming out on top, which was pretty cool. So here they go for their skill 3, or I go for my skill 3, sorry. And we get a ton of cooldowns. A lot of times I usually go for that if I don't really know, like, if I'm going to be able to cut. But we were able to kind of like start like hammering them pretty hard. And then their Tiamat was built for damage, like for sure, because she was hitting me really, really freaking hard. So we go for the shield, Moonlight from Fuchi there. Action delayed the Lilith, because if Lilith gets off anything like Graceful Mischief wise, I think that would have actually killed me like right off rip, because she would have CC'd me and then just been pushing me back all day. And we couldn't have that. So here we go for the strip. Trying to get that immunity and shield off, if anyone, from there. And we got a couple people. We got Nymphonael and Lilith there. And so now I'm going to work with Holden. So I think he actually heals Tiamat there. And we actually tank some of this damage here. Right? Like, we take a lot of that. Now, mind you, I also want you guys to know that my Heinrich is like built on literally just effect accuracy and speed. That's like literally it. So I'm surprised he even lived anything. So yeah, we're working down on the Sonya. Now, one thing I didn't realize till like after chat had told me, there's timers in these fights. So I wasn't really aware of that. But you know, you can see that the turns are like pretty quick. And I seen there's some strats where people stall, dude. I hate that. So yeah, we were just kind of going ham, trying to like, I don't know, see who was going to be the one that folded here. And we got another massive cooldown. And then that was the end of the fight. But I guess at the end, towards the end of that, I ended up being the one that had, I guess, the better standing. So I ended up winning. But it was really fun nonetheless. So that could have went any way, which is why I felt like that was the best matches I had. And we did quite a few matches. We tried to go in here and we tried to and I won some in the quarterfinals, got to the semifinals. I did a final match and got clapped. And it was fun. I'm not gonna lie. I even had a dude that just left. So it was definitely fun. But we mixed that in with some of the RTA. So it wasn't just these matches we did, but we did some regular RTA as well. But one of the things I was looking at and what I felt like could have actually made this much better was that I noticed that everybody doing this is at super end game, right? And so that means that anyone that's trying to ease their way into it or, really honestly, if you don't start on another server, say you kind of fell behind on this server, it's going to feel kind of rough trying to get into this, if we're being honest, because a lot of the people, if you notice, a lot of their stuff is fully built, as far as level 50 or, it's close to or 6-star. They more than likely have optimal builds, whether it be meta stuff like Bloodbath, or they have their Revelations, or they got, they just have more things built. So one of the things that I think that we just absolutely should take a page out of Epic 7's book is the I forget what it's called, but it's the form of RTA where things are kind of already pre-built, and it randomly will give you choices and you kind of select from that. And the reason why that is because I think that there's a lot of people that want to get more into RTA, but they don't actually fully understand how the meta works. How do you counter X thing? Because I think people hear about certain oppressive things, but don't realize that those things, as good as they may be, can still be beaten. And understanding some of the odd choices. How do you draft? Who do you draft? What choices will your enemy make? If they, draft a DPS and then go 2 supports, they're not going to take another DPS, right? So it just kind of all depends on the draft setups and stuff like that too, which I think that would actually allow players to learn a lot more. The other thing is too, is that with rewards like this, I don't mind there being rewards that you have to like come back in here. Like the Sovereign crown lasts for like 2 weeks. So I got to come back in here and do that at some point so I can keep the crown, which is cool, right? I actually like features like that. It's not that like crazy, but the thing is that it's those extra resources. So you do get the participation ones, but winning the matches and then of course being runner up and then becoming the champion, those are things that I think would actually be much more fun to do in a mode where, it's not really so reliant upon how invested your account is. And like I said, I just think that that would be fun for those in the community just to kind of be able to test out more of the metas, because some people just don't even have the builds to actually do some of this stuff. Like we spent all stream yesterday at the recording of this video building up everything so that we could actually go into RTA and really do it. Because otherwise, if I was going in there with all the stuff like prior to that sitting, I don't think I would have been able to actually really do much, to be honest. Because, yeah, like Bloodbath is necessary. Like you absolutely need that on units. I would say if you are lacking speed, Strive was my best friend, right? So I think that there's definitely a lot that could be done with this. I'm kind of interested to know like what you guys feel like could be added for PvP so we can get more people into it. Because I think like, yeah, at the higher spectrum, you definitely have like this really strong set in stone aspect of the community, that core part of the community that's like, hey, I'm RTA going ham no matter what. But then you have those guys that are like in the more casual bracket that wants to do it, but they're looking like, man, I don't think I'm really ready for this. So I think like these things will actually allow people to feel more confident in like being able to go into it and just having more fun is really what it is. Because I think at the end of the day, these games should always be about having fun. And I think that I even had a few people say that in yesterday's stream, that was like something that actually felt like they watched me for one of the very first times when I was having fun. But of course, I have the capacity to actually do it. So that's just kind of my thought process there. Again, like really, really cool stuff. I probably will have a video kind of going over my season's builds and stuff like that, like what I kind of use, because I still got some climbing to do. In Summon Arena, I haven't really did much of it. So yeah, I mean, I just got to climb that. And in ETH Arena, I actually wasn't really climbing that at all, like since reset. So I'm going to try to push some of that today, try to get out of the bracket I'm in so I can get a much higher weekly settlement. And yeah, we just kind of go from there. But either way, guys, that's going to be that with this one. I hope you guys are able to enjoy. Definitely make sure that you guys like and subscribe to the channel because we're not just going to be covering Etheria, but we do have plans to cover Chaos Zero Nightmare and, of course, Seven Nights Rebirth. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to those games. And then some outlier games we'll also be playing in between Path of Exile 2, something else I actually enjoy and maybe some of you guys do. So we can do some co-ops. I kind of, I don't mind like helping people run through that if they want to play. But yeah, that's going to be that, guys. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Stay blessed, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.